Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter if they want to participate or not. In fact, I would say, this is my personal opinion, right, as KB, is that if you choose to disengage, you just gave up your right
Oh yeah.
to create a future that's different than what other people are. In fact, I would almost say that other people want you to disengage so that they can have their particular way be the way. Maybe we should try something new, right? Instead of this left right bipolar political system, why don't we throw in some three, four, five parties in there and
Donald
well,
Trump was not a Republican,
no,
right?
it
That's why
wasn't.
Republicans fought against Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, this is I'm just saying though, maybe maybe there needs to be more options on the table for representation purposes,
I
right?
don't disagree.
Right, and different variations of incentivization from mass media outlets, right? Like you get one message all the time, and you're just like, really? Like, aren't you? Don't you feel like that's a little played as an organization? Less people have TVs today than they do back in the day. And so
Mhm.
now it forces those who are watching TV to get even more narrow because now the audience is smaller who are still watching TV. And so like there's this anyway, there's this there I think you are right that people are feeling the urge to disengage because they see the chaos that's happening and they're like, you know what? For my generation, for my kids, I don't want to participate in this thing that's happening. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter if they want to participate or not. In fact, I would say, this is my personal opinion, right, as KB, is that if you choose to disengage, you just gave up your right
Oh yeah.
to create a future that's different than what other people are. In fact, I would almost say that other people want you to disengage so that they can have their particular way be the way.
And that is actually something that I very much agree with, and I take seriously the idea that refusing to speak up when you hear something that you disagree vehemently with is itself like a tacit endorsement.
Exactly. No, it's not like it is a tacit endorsement.
Yeah.
You gave permission for it.
And
100%.
I'm, I've tried to be more mindful. I've tried to be more willing to engage with people that I do not agree with in a respectful way, so that way they do not think that everyone else thinks like them. Because I found that to be helpful when I considered myself very much on the left. Like I would have voted for Hillary if I had voted in 2016. And it was it was the idea that I wasn't hearing anything that disagreed with what I believed ever. It was that, and I kept hearing things that I knew weren't true repeated as if they were true. And I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like what I have to be missing something here because I am not being challenged in my beliefs, in my
Mm,
viewpoints. And knowing that I'm not being challenged means that I know I'm missing something because clearly I'm not perfect. Clearly I am
mhm,
not valid. Clearly the viewpoints that I have about the world around me are only as good as my ability to defend them intelligently against whatever external pressures or whatever external inputs there might be. And I wasn't finding that. So I was like, well, I wonder what other people have to say. I wonder what, like, why do I always agree with what this guy says? Oh, it's because I'm sort of not really thinking for myself.
mm,
And so once I started thinking for myself, it's like, okay, well, what's good for me? Self control, choosing choosing not to indulge my every urge and my every whim, choosing not to abdicate decisions about how my life should go to anybody else to the extent that I could. Like, and I found these perspectives to be much more compelling than what I had believed previously.
Mm.
And so like and I think that was what brought me around on Trump was like his inauguration speech. He's like, from now on, it's going to be America first. And I was like, well, I don't like you, but I like that. That that makes me
Mhm.
feel. And then there was an air conditioning company that was going to like move to Mexico, and and Donald Trump was like, yeah, you do that, and we're gonna tariff the absolute shit out of you, and you will never sell a single unit in America.
Mhm.
So you're gonna stay in America, or you're not gonna work here anymore. I was like, I kind of like that too, because I feel like American manufacturing has taken a real hit in recent years, and
Mhm.
not a good thing for us. So, like, what's good for me is probably good for my community, is probably good for my country as well. And so, the extent to which I saw these people taking excesses with their own lives, like you don't see many fit, attractive people who take care of themselves that think that the government should be responsible for their well-being. You don't see many enterprising entrepreneurs who think
Right.
that other people should make decisions on their behalf, that other people should take care of things for them. And the people that I admire are people who take responsibility for themselves, or people who take responsibility for their own actions, the consequences of their
Mhm.
actions. And and you wouldn't think that those principles would be hard to see reflected in people with which you might actually disagree on other things. Like I feel like there's more common ground than I think there's more common ground that can be found among people who maybe feel like disengaging than anybody's willing to give credit to.
Well, I found it interesting. So I do gotta go. Because I do have to go to work at some point. I gotta get showered. But